Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Fish. Yours truly, Craig Becker. If this is your first time listening, welcome. If it's not, thanks for tuning back in. I appreciate it. Tonight's episode, this mic a little bit. Tonight's episode, gonna go over a few things and do some couple things real quick before I get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. Sorry if you're watching. Sound is great, but I'm not real happy with where my mic's sitting. So give me a second here and get this ironed out. There we go. I like that a little bit better. If you're not watching this, it doesn't matter. If you are watching this, it still really doesn't matter because just watching me fumble around with a mic stand, trying to get it to where I like it. Perfect. Okay. So, on to another podcast. A few things to touch on real quick. Winterfest was at Buckeye Lake this weekend. That is not fishing related, but it's big for the Buckeye Lake area and all the businesses, and it's where I live. So if you went to Winterfest, I thank you for coming out and having a good time and helping support the local businesses, and just putting some money back into the lake area so those businesses can continue to thrive in the winter and be able to have money to start back up when the weather gets nice. So that's one heck of a party. I've been there before. This weekend or this year, I was at working the Ohio Fishing Expo, which we'll get into that here in a little bit. But however, if you went to Winterfest at Buckeye Lake, as far as I've heard, it was, you know, pretty good time. Nothing too crazy happened. So yeah, if you came out and you spent some money in the Buckeye Lake region, appreciate that. I don't have a business, but I know what that means to some of the people I know that own businesses and the lake area in general. All right. So, a few things before I get into this week's topic, which you may already know where I'm going to go with this, maybe not. First things first, there's a Kids Day coming up on Indian Lake. It's going to be put on by Ice Fish Ohio, and that is February 14th. It's a Saturday. It starts at, I believe, 10 a.m. Double check my phone real quick. Pretty sure it's 10 a.m. Let me pull this up. I don't want to steer people wrong. So if I had a sweet production team, they'd play like some pretty cool music right now. Let's see. Okay. Got it. Saturday, February 14th, Kids Day, Blackhawk Arena, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to go over ice safety and a kids ice fishing derby, ages 12 years and younger. Minnow races. There's going to be an ODNR officer there. The kids need to be accompanied by an adult. It's a good time. I took the godsons there last year, and no fish were caught, but the kids had a great time. There's a ton of prizes, ton of games to keep them interested if the fishing isn't as hot as we would want it to be. But yeah, bring your youngster out. Let's get them involved in ice fishing. Let's grow the sport. Let's get kids fishing, and maybe we'll catch some fish. There's a ton of giveaways. They earn tickets to get into a raffle. Lakeside Pro Bass helps out with this. So big shout out to them and Ice Fish Ohio. And then if you're already in town or if you're from that area, that Sunday, February 15th, there's going to be an ice fishing Ohio pot tournament from 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. $40 per two-man team or a team. It's up to two, so 1 to 2 people. 4 pots, 100% payout. You got a crappie pot, a sunfish, bluegill pot, a sawguy pot, and the big fish. Registration is at 6:30 to 7 a.m. Meeting at 7, and then the weigh-in will be at 3:30 at Lakeside Pro Bass, and the winners will be announced at 4 p.m. So if you're into ice fishing, especially if you're in that Indian Lake region, definitely bring the kids out, get the kids involved, and then adults get to play on Sunday. I mean, kids can too, but yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So, yeah, there's going to be a kids' day and an ice fishing tournament. Sticking with ice real quick, my home lake, Buckeye Lake, as a lot of you know already. If you're new to this, that's where I live. And if you're not new, I say it all the time, but I was busy last weekend with the Ohio Fishing Expo, or National Fishing Expo Columbus. And I'll get into that, like I said, in a second. I was busy with that and then work and whatnot. So I'm hoping to get back on the ice starting tomorrow evening throughout the rest of the week. But I've talked to a few people. Know a lot of guys that's been out there. Buckeye Lake right now, sitting around 10 inches, give or take. Still, use your discretion, check your ice. Don't assume it's safe. There are bubblers on the lake, but for the most part, everybody I've talked to is saying we got a pretty decent 10 inches of ice right now. Some snow covered, some not, depending on the wind. And you guys might already know this if you're on certain Facebook pages, but people have been doing really good on Buckeye Lake. Seen a lot of saw guys caught, some limits here and there, nice crappie, gills I haven't been out in over a week now, but everything I can see and the people I've talked to, I feel like it's fishing a lot better than it did last year. I know a lot of people last year, including myself, was a lot of channel cats and super short saw guy. So maybe that's why we're getting limits this year. Maybe that class of saw guy grew. Obviously they grew, but they got bigger. Anyhow, that's my ice report for Buckeye Lake. Still use caution. Don't just go blind and fly out there. But there's 10 plus inches pretty much generally everywhere, and the fishing's been pretty good. So hit up your local bait shops, pick up some minnows, and get out on the ice. Drill some holes and have some fun. So that's my ice report. I'll get in this week's episode, the National Fishing Expo, Columbus, Ohio. As I said earlier, I was involved in that this year for the first time ever, which is pretty neat, being on the business side, if you will, of the tables, the booths, the vendors. So yeah, that was pretty cool. It was a great time. I staff for Nasty Nate's Baits, if you haven't figured that out yet, or if you're new. But I do some stuff with him. He's become, not only is he a great bait maker and a great person, he's always giving kids stuff and people stuff, but I consider him a friend. I've known him for a few years now. We've done some stuff on and off, fish together here and there, but this year, big shout out to Nate Boldman from Nasty Nate's. Couldn't have done this without him because, yes, I worked his booth, but he was kind enough to also let me come and go in and out of the booth and do my own thing for the podcast, for the channel. Had the GoPro out. You'll see there's going to be a lot of content coming out from the expo, but dude, I can't thank him enough. This is the genuine guy he is. Yeah, I definitely worked the booth and I had a great time talking crappie and meeting people and some of the viewers we've got to meet finally in person. But man, just to have the freedom to attend some seminars and walk around with my GoPro, without my GoPro, this and that, to have the freedom to just gain content for this channel. Couldn't have done it without him. So thanks, Nate, dude. I owe you a lot. I appreciate it. But yeah, they're the expo. We set up, check out the YouTube channel. Pretty cool. I did my first time lapse video of me, Nate, and Scott setting up the booth. It's pretty crazy. It's about 4 hours condensed down to about 10 minutes. So we set up and I worked 2 of the 3 days / came and went and did my own thing. But man, I had a great time. Never been on that side of things. And, when it was super busy, it was cool. We were cranking out, talking to customers, talking to people about baits, colors, this and that, what lakes, what time of year. And even in the slow times, it's cool. It's just a bunch of like-minded guys sitting back behind the booth, talking fishing. I mean, this is what this is about. We just talking fish, what kind of rods you like, tournament strategies. I mean, you name it. If you were there, you seen it. We had some hammers in the booth. So yeah, I don't know. Most of the guys there are tournament fishermen, and there's just me, whatever, social media guy. But great time. Learned a ton of stuff. Met a lot of people. The expo itself, I mean, I will say, for my first expo, as far as working goes, I did not realize how physical it was. You're standing in basically one spot for a very long time, multiple days. I'm still a little sore. I needed to edit and film and record this tonight, but even if I didn't have to do this, I don't know that I was going on the ice tonight anyhow. Because man, I'm ran down. My body I'm out of shape, admittedly, but what a grind it was. Good time, but man, at the end of the day, you are smoked. But yeah, good time. Trying to think. Met a lot of people in the time I was doing my thing. I'm not even gonna list them all. What I did So I met a lot of people, walked around, talked to some folks, and I got some stuff on the GoPro, which will be coming out probably on Facebook, YouTube, somewhere in that realm. I got to edit it still, and I'll get to that. I'm trying to spend more time on editing the video part of stuff just because, A, I'm not really good at it, and B, I get excited and I rush everything. And so I'm doing a little bit better as far, I want to take my time and put out a better content. But couple people, Big Joshy was super nice, gave me the time of day. Troy Becker took some time to do some stuff with me and talk to me, not very long, but he could have said no. I appreciate that. Cass Cray, genuinely nice guy, same thing, took some time out, did some stuff. Like I said, you're gonna see all this, and I'm gonna forget a few people right now. When I get everything out, you'll see everybody. Coots Lures, man, I can't say enough about them. Big shout out to Nick Dudley. He pro staffs for him and his dad. If I remember right, they're the only pro staff Coot has out of Ohio. That Coots is out of Wisconsin, big walleye person. His son did a social media thing for vendors. They not only do they put out a really good fishing product, they got some really nice rods. They all kinds of stuff. Check them out, Coots Lures. I picked up a couple of trolling rods to update some of my trolling spread. Anyhow, down to earth people, great products, better people, willing to help somebody like me out. Just some bottom rung content guy, whatever you want to call me. So yeah, I mean, they don't turn their nose up or whatever. They gave, in my opinion, what I seen, it didn't matter who you were, what you were. If you're just a person trying to fish, a person that has fished, somebody like me that's getting into content, somebody that's already into content, somebody that's got a booth, they treated everyone the same. So big shout out to Nick Dudley and his dad and everybody on the Coots team. I can't say enough nice things. Had just a genuinely awesome time talking to them. Picked up some trolling rods. Can't wait to get the boat out and start trolling in the spring when ice gets off. But yeah, the expo was great, man. I seen a lot of people that I knew, a lot of people that it was crazy because we interact on Facebook or whatever it may be, social media. And hey, nice to meet you. And it's like, man, we kind of feel like we know each other already. And it was just cool to shoot the breeze and talk fish, man. It was a great time. Like I said, like my legs and stuff maybe would want a couple more days off, but mentally, yeah, I'm ready to go back to it. Minus, like, I missed out on some fishing. That kind of sucked, but it is what it is. It's part of the gig if you're going to be in the fishing industry. But man, just so many like-minded people just talking fish. And then there's a few things that I guess I don't know what you'd call it, like not behind the scenes, but after hours, if you will, or before hours when it's just the vendors and the miscellaneous pro staffs and this and that. Some of the conversations that I was privileged to, they were fun, amazing, awesome, funny, you name it. I heard a bunch and it was great. And I wish I could share them, but it's kind of like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens is Expo, especially after hours, stays the Expo. But for all those people, and it wasn't nothing crazy. I mean, it was just, you never know. It just as my first year for people to feel, I guess, confident enough to say certain things around me and to allow me into their circle, if you will, was phenomenal. So some of the stuff people will find out eventually, but it's a little tease, if you will. But I'm just gonna leave it at that because I just felt so welcomed and had such a good time. Like I'm definitely not gonna burn any bridges. Not that's a wrong way to say it, but I want people to be able to trust me and to be open and be themselves around me. And so yeah, I mean, like I said, this is my first time being on the other side of the line, and I can't even think of the words. I had a blast. It was great. I'm rambling now because I was like a schoolgirl all week, but yeah, the expo, there's a lot of good deals. A million different boats to look at. the kayaks. I took some pictures. I'll post some pictures here soon, but there's some crazy kayak. There was kayaks from like what you would think a kayak would be up until custom trailers, live scope, freaking neon lights. I mean, anything and everything was at the expo fishing wise. Aluminum boats, fiberglass boats. I mean, you name it. There's this giant Lake Erie guide boat thing, dude. It had a cat. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about. It was to the left of the big Joshy booth. But yeah, that's it. My first expo, as far as being a vendor, I, I don't know if that's the right word, but being a part of the vendors, something like that. Um, Man, it was amazing. Good time. Met a lot of cool people. Hopefully meet a lot more, grow the channel. I don't know if you can see. I see that. Little Creek Customs hooked me up. Well, they made that. I had to pay for it, obviously, but pretty cool. Finally got my own merch, if you will. Got my first piece of merchandise with my own logo on it. So that's pretty cool. I can't say enough, man. It was a blur. It was phenomenal. I thank everyone that came out, everyone that shook my hand. Just even the people, like, there's a lot of people obviously that don't know what I'm doing. They just thought I was a guy working a booth trying to sling some baits, and yeah, part of it I was trying to help Nate out. Not that he needs any, but just trying to just be there for him and repay him letting me do my thing. And man, just getting to talk about fishing. Met some people that live on Buckeye. We talked about fishing this and there. I mean, and then listening to the guys that fish the tournaments on the backhand side of things, this some of their strategy, or I mean, some of I don't even know how to describe it, like the way that how dedicated and crazy they are about, because they're in a tournament for good money. Like some of the stuff they've done to catch fish, and it's no secrets or nothing. It's just stuff you would never even comprehend. Laying on your belly and looking this and that on the front of a boat or whatever. And I mean, just being privileged to hear that as a guy that's consumed with fishing, I'm like, dude, I ate it up all weekend. So, yeah, I mean, that was my first expo. Hopefully I'll get invited back next year, with Nate. That's Nate's Baits. Who knows? If anybody else is listening, hey, look me up. Content creator now these days. All right. You hear me? But now, hopefully I can, help some people out next year at a booth and, meet some more of, I guess I don't know if I want to say my fans, but people that follow the content. This is Talking Fish. We're all about Ohio fishing content. So the Ohio Fishing Expo is a natural home for us. But yeah, if you came out, thank you. The people that put on the expo, I had a limited dealings with them because I wasn't the guy or the vendor, but what little bit of contact we had, they did an awesome job, awesome setup. We had a light out above the booth one day, and it was, I don't know, like it was pretty close to like a half hour or so before the public could come in, and they had people on it. I mean, everything I could see, year one, blown away by everyone, all the different vendors, the interaction with the vendors, the staff that put the expo on, the staff that worked at the expo hall. Like I said, amazing time. Kid in a candy store, fairy tale dream come true. So be prepared though. I mean, like I said, I'm rambling. I got some more stuff coming up. I'm going to cut some clips out and do some more stuff probably on Facebook and YouTube, maybe TikTok, about the expo. I'm just jumping on here to talk a little bit about it today, and then more ice fishing content, hopefully, if I can catch some fish. I'm going to get on the ice. And then as the ice melts, like I said, got the 14-foot Alumacraft. Got to get it rigged out, ready for open water. And there's going to be some cool stuff. I'm going to mix it up. Obviously, chasing crappie is what I like to do. And so that'll be a big part, but I still like my saw guy. I'll give them a little bit of love, maybe some bass here and there, but especially in spring, there's going to be some trolling content. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. Trolling content, crappie content, love it or hate it. There's gonna be some live scope content, and I may suck at it, I may not. Like, you just have to tune in to find out. But I got a scope and rod coming to me. I'm gonna try my hand at. I'm not gonna fish tournaments or nothing, but I'm gonna try my hand at trying to catch some big crappie off by themselves, like the tournament guys do, and this and that, and just having fun and getting some new people out fishing. Fingers crossed, if the weather permits, because they don't have shanties. Hopefully I can record a few people catching their first fish through the ice. I got that coming up. Mother Nature and luck needs to work on our side, and scheduling. Everyone's working. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. If you came through the Nasty Nate's booth at the Expo, thanks for coming through. Thanks for stopping and hanging out. And thanks for talking fish. We'll catch you right here next time, talking fish.